So basically, I was literally browsing Reddit, a new subreddit called Unix Prawn. Basically, all it does is people showing off their really amazing desktop setups, and I always really want that, you know, a really customized desktop setup for my own freaking computer, or for my own laptop. How do I do that, guys? Wait, what? It only runs on Linux? What do you mean? So, what is Linux exactly? Basically, what I like to call it, the Dirt OS. To be fair, it's should be called like GNU/Linux, and also to be fair, it's not an entire operating system. It's just the core of the operating system, aka the kernel. Essentially, the whole core of the operating system is pretty much free and open source. That's the good news about it. And also because it's free and open source, and the fact that it's just the core, there's a lot of versions of it, you know, which is people are called distros, and there are a lot of them actually. I remember like watching on YouTube, and people will talk a lot about Linux from like stuff like LDT and some ordinary gamers. You know, I always want to try that out, but I always feel that it might not suit me. So eventually I didn't. But I know it kind of exists. Well, until I saw my professor, who legit used Linux for real. So obviously I asked him, emailed him, what about how to start doing that. So and according to him, I should simply install Ubuntu on a virtual machine first, which I kind of did. So yeah, here's pretty much the beginning of me setting up stuff, I guess. Of course, I also need to mention the fact that there are actually a lot more than the stuff that I'll mention in this video. So I think it's best if you do want to dig deep to actually find other channels. They're not me, because like I'm just like starting off this. I know, there's a distro called UwUntu, but please just bear with me, okay? So basically all I did was basically tinker with the VirtualBox and to learn how how Linux really works. I also found out at this time that the look of the OS doesn't really depend on the distro. It basically depends on desktop environment you use. Desktop environment is basically the look of the OS, essentially. And I also learned about different programs that does pretty much the same thing. Like you use, instead of you having Fire Explorer, you use something like Dolphin. I also changed it from like GNOME, which is what Ubuntu use, into something called KDE under their desktop environment. And then for some reason, NeoFresh just say it's actually Kubuntu, but okay, right? And after tinkering a bit, and this is what I got, which unfortunately I can able to get like a screenshot of it simply because I removed the VirtualBox. So there I go. So basically I just feel like, alright, I'm starting to get it. And then I posted it on Unix Porn, obviously, and said that, yep, this is my first time doing it. And then at this point, I started to meet a guy who basically just helped me a lot, which I will talk about what I have with him in the next section. Actually during the meantime, I also, look around the community and see what's going on there. And I firstly obviously know there's this one meme called I use Arch, by the way. It's pretty much kind of a meme on itself, basically. Arch is one of those distributions that is extremely minimal, extremely hard to use because it's so minimal. But there's a lot of stuff you don't need in there, so basically you only need the essentials when you got it. However, what happens is with like the amount of people using Arch, not only is a lot of them, most of them are quite kind of fanboys. So basically all they do is just say, oh my god, I use Arch, by the way. So after all that, my Unix Porn post, well, there are already people recommending Arch, man. Wow! Which eventually I sort of met someone in the comment section, which eventually I invited him to my Discord server, link in the description, please join. And what he did is to somehow convince me to install Arch. So I can officially say, yes, I do use Arch, by the way, and yes, that's what is based in the new thing that I just made. I mean, the process to install it is very tedious. I have to troubleshoot a lot of stuff. I need to ask him. I have to look at the wiki, blah blah blah. But alright. I think I kind of see the appeal a bit, because it's for people who like to tinker with things, you know. It's not for everyone, you know. I don't think it's for everyone, honestly, after I basically used it. But if you do really like computers, it's sort of a must thing. It's sort of an option. And also, he says that you will learn a lot of Linux just from installing it, so, which I've actually kinda did, so maybe give it a try, I guess. I won't be that pushy, but, you know, you can try it, I guess. So, yes. Afterwards, so you know what? I think I should actually install Linux on a real computer. So this is what I did next. A bit before I really want to show you what happened afterwards, I really want to introduce you guys to an old friend of mine. So basically this is my family's Fujitsu Lifebook. I think we've been having this since around the time when Windows 8 released. It has Core i5, very old graphics card. It can barely run. The monitor isn't even 1080p, it's a bit lower than that. It even has a place for your CDs. And it even has a VGA port for some reason. It also has the cables. It does have Wi-Fi support, so that's one thing that's good. Another thing about this is it still runs on hard drive. It doesn't have an SSD. Yeah, and it's been with us for many years. I've been playing Minecraft with it at first. I remember times bringing it to my grandpa's place and playing Minecraft on it. And I also remember, like, you know, figuring out Windows 8 for the first time, you know. But the thing is, you know, given how things have changed, it's gone very bad now. Right now, it does need like 5 minutes just to even boot like the Windows 10, not even 11 up. And everything runs so slow, it pretty much have a 20-second delay on every single input. Of course, this does need a change. Of course, the whole thing doesn't run that smoothly. The first thing, the whole installation didn't work. The second thing, the root partition basically just ran out of space. So, and the third one, for some reason the bootloader decided to delete itself for no reason at all. I have no idea how. But, at last, after many hours, not only just to installing it, and also to configure everything, you know, download some sort of template someone else got, and realizing most of the stuff are basically trash, so that I have to reconfigure everything. This spends a whole day just to do it. But this is what I got at the end. May I introduce you, NekomiOS. Enjoy. I wonder what the hell is this snowflake all about?